Now let's talk about somebody who's using ChatGPT or having somebody do his homework.
Wait, Junior, stop.
Okay.
Shadur is a scholar first and an athlete second. And actually,
Okay.
God first.
Okay, my bad. My bad.
Jeez, bro, get off. Dude, I'm trying to get hired by well-off media here, all right?
Yeah! Here we go!
Welcome back to the Pin and Pool Podcast. Junior, it's the Golden Boot Week, my friend.
Oh, yeah. We are live, man. We got LSU this week. We're playing for a trophy. This is the second trophy that we're playing this year, and hopefully this one has a little bit of a different result than Texas A&M, and we're able to bring back some hardware.
Yeah, a lot of hardware. The trophy weighs over 200 pounds. Have you seen the trophy in person before, Junior?
I've never seen the trophy in person, but you see the pictures, and I mean, it towers people. It towers little kids. So I'm excited to get my hands on it and carry it around the locker room and around the field.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to see if what do you do for a 200-pound trophy like that? It's a multiple person carry, I would imagine.
Yeah. No,
I know once
definitely.
it's in the air, I trust that you can hold 200 pounds over your head, but that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to hold it above your head. I don't know if my shoulders are that strong.
I think it's dangerous because if you fell backwards,
you fall back, you're gonna kill a small child.
Yeah, and that's why you got to be careful on the field there with the small kids. If the field storming happens again, I mean, have you guys been told anything? Like, it's not going to happen again, guys. We literally cannot afford this.
I mean, I'm assuming the school's like, come on, guys, let's not do this. We do not want to take another fine. But I mean, we got another top 10 opponent. This is the first time first time in school history that there's been back-to-back top 10 opponents coming down to Donald Reynolds Stadium. So, man, we're living history right now, G. We're living in history.
And it's only fitting that this game has so much history. The rivalry started back in, I think, 1901, and it's been played. This will be the 68th matchup between LSU and Arkansas. We were doing some research before the show, and I was like, I'm going to use ChatGPT. I'm just going to find me some stats about this rivalry so I can sound good on the show. And then the first stat we're going through, we fact check it completely wrong. They said that Arkansas beat LSU to go undefeated in 1964, which they never played LSU in 1964. But you actually had a cool stat about 1964.
Yeah, that was, I think, the last time Arkansas has ever beat two top 10 opponents in the same year. And of course, that is the year that they won the national championship. So, if history repeats itself,
follow the signs.
Who knows?
Bro,
who knows?
ChatGPT was literally saying, like, hey, I know this is not what you were looking for. You guys were national champions and undefeated in 1964. I just want to put that out there. I just want to, And so that's awesome. We did find that there was this really cool game, though, and it happened in 1947, January 1st, 1947. It was nicknamed the Ice Bowl. And this game resulted in a 0-0 tie between LSU and Arkansas. They said it was 20 degrees. It was freezing. And obviously the game ended in a rather mild-mannered fashion, 0-0. Junior, how crappy would you feel playing in 20-degree weather in snow for it to end in a tie?
I mean, I feel like at that point, you just look over to the other sideline and we're like, somebody has to win. We didn't bring our asses out into this cold ass weather for us not to fucking have a winner. And no, I'd be sick, dude. 0-0. I mean, that's the most. I mean, it must have been just a shit ton of runs. Had to be.
Yeah. Well, it was 20 degrees. It was snowing and sleeting. And mind you, this is 1947. So this is the heart of like the wishbone off. Honestly, Petrino has some things that would have worked in 1947 in the offense.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
When you see some of those formations that he draws up, you're like, am I in a like time machine right now? Are we going back in time right now? This is
We have a play this week, dude, where I mean, if we run it, it's pretty sick. Because I don't really. I kind of focus mainly on the offensive line and what we kind of have to do. And then if I rewatch a film, of practice, I'll sometimes look at like kind of like the backfield action and how that's all kind of playing out. And I seen something yesterday, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I've never seen anything like this. So, no, it's really cool being in his offense, man.
the slobbering hog. I know we're bouncing around a lot here, but it brought me to basketball because I saw that
Yeah.
the basketball team's gonna have the slobbering hog.
Dude, how sick is that? I think that's one of the things about Arkansas I love the most is that like the AD really listens to the fans. He does everything in his possibility to make Arkansas the best possible athletic program there is in the SEC. And it's really dope, man, cuz not a lot of schools would just do their own shit. They're going to put the old basic logo on there, but he heard out the fans. He gave them a little bit of a challenge. They had to raise some money for NIL and he slapped that bad boy in the middle of the court, and that thing looks sexy, man.
Would you be a fan if you guys had helmets this year that had the slobbering hog on it?
Dude, come on now. Hell yeah. Bro, we need I mean, I like our uniforms. I like our uniforms, but we need just a little bit more flair. Just a little bit, man. We're so
Yeah.
traditional. We're so traditional. And I mean, it's good. But like as a player, you see Oregon freaking busting out all these new uniforms, and you're just like, just give us one game. Give us one game where we come out with something spicy.
Dad had brought it up since it's a red out, and I don't think you guys do it, but red tops, red pants.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking too, right? Like it only makes sense. And if we don't do it, then it's just like, all right, we're we're back to our traditional ways. We're not
Dad
gonna
said,
change for
yeah.
anything.
Dad said you would look like a fucking barn out there if you wore all red. I was crying. He was so funny.
That's
Uh,
hilarious.
so back to LSU. LSU is coming in. They beat Ole Miss last week in an overtime thriller. I mean,
Yeah.
the one thing that was noticeable from that game is uh, it took the last 2 minutes of that first half. It took about 45 minutes. It seemed like I was able to drive from my house all the way to Henderson, which is a 35-minute drive, and it still wasn't halftime yet. It blew my mind. But there was a lot of highlight plays, a lot of close plays. Junior, after watching that game, what were your thoughts on the way that the Tigers performed?
Yeah, man, they got the job done. I think their defense really found a groove towards the end of that game. They started like pressuring Jackson Dart, started bringing a bunch of twist, a bunch of games on the D line, and then they're just bringing a bunch of just I mean, safeties, linebackers, cornerbacks. They're blitzing everybody and anybody, and they're finding success with it. And I think that's kind of what we're gonna see come Saturday, man. Their DNs played really good that game. Their linebacker had number 40 had like 18 tackles. He was going pretty crazy. So they had a lot of big performances on the defensive side, but you know, it's great to kind of get that film, digest it, and then we're setting up our game plan, and I feel really confident about it.
Yeah, you guys have the ability to run any style and flavor of offense based off of the pressures that people have given you so far this season. I saw a lot of delayed blitzes. I feel like they're going to work a lot of things that I see in the NFL a lot lately too, where they're bringing the safety down and they're really just like saying, no matter who you give it to on the read option, safety's got QB, DN's crashing on the end. So I feel like you guys will see a lot of that. But when you do that, then you have Armstrong on the back end to get a little slant across the middle, and it's like you got to pick your poison. So I know you guys are going to be good in that department as far as the blitzes are concerned. Now, who's number 4? Number 4 is going to be the
Their
person I feel
defense.
you
Yeah, I
see the
go up
most.
against it's gonna be 4 and 35 are the two ones that play on the end. Really long guys. I think they're both about like 6'6", just long ass arms. But yeah, no, 4 had a freaking hell of a game. I think he had 3 sacks or 2 sacks. So that's gonna be somebody I'm gonna have to key into. I feel like I have a pretty good game plan on him, a pretty good beat on him, and I just think if I stick to myself and my technique, I'm gonna be just fine out there.
Yeah, and I think your technique looks a lot different than a lot of the other SEC tackles that I've seen lately. This is just me as a brother talking to you and seeing game after game this weekend where like I think you bring a pop that I feel I don't see as much. And I don't know if it's maybe because you're 6'5" and you get to come up on people a little bit more,
I
or if
appreciate the 6'5" G, but I'm a true 6'4", 6'3". I truly believe that I am the smallest tackle in the SEC. Uh, I think because everybody else is about like 6'6", long ass arm, 6'7". And I think that's why it's just like I don't have that. And
yeah,
so I kind of have to bring something different to the table, and that's fine. That's fine. That's just kind of my game.
yeah. I appreciate seeing it, dude. Yeah, I will do a little fact checking for you. I will scour the SEC and then I will scour the FBS. Who are the smallest offensive tackles? And you know, what a list to be on.
Yeah,
What a
it
list to be
is.
on. Because then I can also correlate that to PFF grades. Which, by the way, I want to do that one of these episodes. I want you to play a guessing game of your teammates.
Okay, yeah, no. Dude, PFF it's heartbreaking sometimes. My PFF
True.
this year has been very, very
What are
not
you?
what I want. I don't know, dude. I haven't seen after last game, but after Texas A&M, dude. I mean, I wouldn't be passing college with
Oh
that grade.
no, dude. PF.
Yeah,
It's tough. That's
I
tough.
know. No, they grade hard. They yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's all
That's
about
the
just getting
only. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's the only teacher you care about.
I know, dude. It sucks.
For this part, right? When the
Right.
spring comes around, then obviously we're back. We're back in the books. But
Of course.
for the fall time, dude, the PFF coach. Do you ever want to meet one of the PFF Raiders? Because something tells me it's just somebody that you would never expect. That's
Yeah, and that's also kind of another part of it where it's like, how much does this person know football who's grading me? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's usually some kid that maybe played high school football and never played offensive line and is just like, well, he's still in front of the guy. That's a good block. You know what I'm saying?
Of course I know what you're saying. I just wanted you to say it because it's true. Like you're the one that's fucking getting graded by this dude. I can
Yeah.
say whatever I want. I would be that guy. And by the way, PFF, if you're looking, I got some free time. I got lots of plane rides that I can, I pop on a tape and just throw in some grades. I used to be a teacher. I used to be a teacher. So this matches. Um, okay, Junior. Garrett Nussmeier, the first real quarterback prospect that you guys are facing. What has the game plan been like for defense this week?
I haven't really been keen, and I usually find out kind of that Friday. Pittman talks to like everybody who's like kind of on that travel squad, and he talks about the key for the defense, key for the offense. So that's usually kind of when I get like the tip in. Obviously, I'll ask them kind of throughout the week, just kind of curious of like what they're gonna do. And but yeah, no, dude, they have a really good quarterback. They have a tremendous O line over there. So I'm just kind of excited. I have this weird feeling that Land is just about to have one of those games, man, where he wrecks it. And he has this draft stock that just shoots through the roof. I mean, it's already shooting through the roof, but he has just one of those games where it's like, yeah, that's the dude. That's the dude. So I'm excited to see him play, man.
This is the rare situation where you are getting a team where they're like, no, we're gonna go best on best. Like, we're not gonna throw a tight end to Chip Landon. We're not gonna bring in a wide
Yeah.
receiver to crash him. No, our left tackle is better than you. We're gonna get a lot of one-on-one matchups, and I think that favors him. And that's a
Yeah.
how do you feel about that as a left tackle? Obviously you like the help, but it is a badge of honor when your coach says, "Do it."
No, most definitely. It's definitely feels good. We always want the help. Let me put that out there. The help is always wanted if given. But when you know that you have to be on the island, that's your job, that's your calling, and that's the reason why you're playing the position. And so it just kind of reminds you, like my coach has faith in me to go out there and make this block. And so I think for me, I want the help whenever I could get it, but when I'm put on the island, that's your time to make your money.
Mm. Well said. On the other side, we're going to be talking about how AI was used to develop a letter of apology. We are going to talk about Cam Rising's injury, and then we're going to talk about Oklahoma State's coach, Mike Gundy. See you on the other side. Boom, we're back. Junior, I want to start off with your topic because when I saw this, I was like, oh, this poor kid, man. This is a really unfortunate situation. So tell the people.
Yeah, so Traeshon Holden gets caught using AI, but not in the classroom. Not in the classroom. This is all over Instagram, and he used it for his apology because Saturday when they were playing Ohio State, he had spit on the DB that was holding him. He
That's
felt
funny.
like hence the last name, and he gets ejected out of the game. And so then he has to write an apology. You know how that kind of stuff goes. And homie just went right to ChatGPT and said, "Write me an apology for my Oregon fans, saying I'm sorry for spitting on somebody." And somebody caught his ass, and I think it was like, let me check. Let me check how much AI was detected on this. 89% AI detected on this. So, I mean, I respect it. I get what he's doing. I mean, time's valuable, but I think it's hilarious because it's going to be something we have to key into now, especially with like the transfer portal. And, you know, we just got to see how many people are using AI because I know for damn sure I used AI when I hit the transfer portal.
There we go. Way to get out ahead of it, bro. Way to get out ahead of it.
Yeah.
Because if we make a clip of this, it goes big. They would have fact checked your ass.
Oh,
So
yeah. Oh,
we're
yeah.
coming out. ChatGPT was used on Junior's transfer letter. That happened. That's
Sorry.
okay.
Sorry. It happens. It happens.
I think that's not as bad though as saying like as this apology. Like, bro, you spit on the guy.
Yeah.
And by the way, too many words. If you are writing an apology letter for spitting on somebody, it's maybe a paragraph and a half.
Yeah.
What else do you need to say? This dude apologized to the fucking janitors. I apologize to my second grade teacher. I apologize. Yeah. Well, ChatGPT apologized.
Yeah.
You could
Right.
just tell. When you look at the letter, you're like, this is too much.
I mean, yeah, you could just tell he copied and pasted it right away. There was no like, hey, shorten this up, make this sound a little make this a little bit more humanized.
Oh my god. That yeah, that's a really bad look for him. And we got to just be on our P's and Q's for all these apologies in the coming years.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, by the way, in that game, the Oregon versus Ohio State game, I've seen it now multiple times on clips. I wasn't watching the game, so like I don't necessarily know. What happened with the 12-man penalty at
Dude,
the end
I
of the
mean,
game?
I saw something about it. People were saying that he did it on purpose.
Yeah, he
Basically,
did do it on purpose.
so he did. Okay. I think what happened was it was like the second to last play, he had thrown 12 people out there. And so they ran the play, they threw the flag, which I don't know, I think it's a 15 or maybe 10-yard penalty. But the clock ran down so much that like it was like, all right, they only got however many yards off the penalty because they had 12 people out there defending the offense, which is genius. It is so smart.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, there was 6. Yeah, that's crazy. You explained it perfectly. There was 10 seconds left. They call a timeout. 4 seconds tick off the clock, and then there's 6 seconds left. So it really just left Ohio State with with the Hail Mary. So that's a big brain move. Big brain
It
move.
is.
If
It is.
only Traeshon Holden had the brain that the Oregon coach had, that and I literally just had his name. Dan Lanning.
Landing. Yep.
Dan Lanning. That's too many N's. 4
It
N's in a
is.
name? Dan
It's a lot.
Lanning.
Landing. So do you think this is gonna become a popular thing now? I mean, it
Uh,
has to be.
First off, I don't know how much time does it take to copy and paste something into that generator? You know what I mean? Like, if you saw that post on Instagram, you'd have to what? You'd have to either screenshot it and then copy it up. I guess it wouldn't take
Yeah.
too long. But like, at what point of the process are you like, what am I doing? Like, this is pointless.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't
I
know.
I think we're making too big of a deal out of it even right now. But it's funny, and we do
It
got to
is.
watch out for it.
Do you
And
think
then
okay, do you think Dan Landing's little strategy, do you think that's gonna become something that is used more around the NFL and college football? I mean, it has to, right?
yeah, I definitely think that this was a stroke of genius from the coach, and um, you're already seeing it a lot with these defensive players and the injuries. Like
Yeah.
this is just another form of slowing down an offense that and shout out to the defenses. I do have to say because every rule that is ever made is to help the offense and to help points be scored. When the defense gets crafty and screws over the offense, I'm a fan. I'm a fan
Yeah,
of it.
of course.
Um, but yeah, seeing it in the NFL will be the next step. The one thing that I saw that they another rule bending thing, and this wasn't on our notes, but when the defense or the field goal block player jumps over the line, it went away for a while. They said you couldn't like get a running start to jump over the line. Then they
Alright.
said if you're on the line, you can jump over. So what they've been doing is they have like two guys pinch, pull the guy down, like the guard down, and the guy leaps over. There's been two field goal blocks in the last 2 weeks using that.
Wow. You know, those special team coaches, man, you'd be surprised how much time they spend on it, and they're just trying to think of different ways to fucking over the special teams, and, I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes it works, bro. Sometimes it works.
I wonder if they like ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, find me a loophole in the NFL rule book that will allow me to block field goals easy. So that was there's been lots of rule bending. I'm glad we're able to touch on that. This junior should bend some rules. Okay, Cam Rising just declared medical red shirt. I guess he's gonna have an 8th year of eligibility available. Cam Rising, Utah's phenom quarterback. What it seems like forever. He's going to be 26 years old. Junior, what I just need to know if you had Cam Rising on your team, like what would your relationship be like with him? Like, would you consider him dad? Like,
I think I'm
is
considering him grandpa. He is
grandpa?
head he is head Ute. He is head Ute. He is officially like he's like the head chief of the team now, dude. He's been there for so damn long.
Head chief is hilarious. Nick, please find a chief photo and put Cam Rising's face on it. Uh yeah, he is head Ute. 8th year of eligibility, 26 years old. Junior, I'm 26 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
And we knew that when the COVID year happened, like had I stayed in football, we could have had a season where we played against each other.
Yeah.
Um, but now that you're literally about to graduate college, isn't that crazy that he's my age? We would still be able to be doing this?
You know, it's a little bit crazy, but then I also look back to my team and we also have a 29-year-old wide receiver on my team. So
Yeah,
it's
who
not
lived a
the
whole nother life before this, Junior. Okay.
yeah.
He's fine. He's the exception.
Yeah, no, it definitely is absurd, dude. To think how I mean, when did he come into college? Had to be
Eight.
2017?
Yeah.
2018?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
He
that's just absurd, man.
20
There's
no, he came in the same year as me, dude. 2016. He came in the same exact year as me. Okay, so I broke this down and I want you to pull up the list of the
Yep,
quarterbacks that are
yep,
currently here. But
I got it.
Cam Rising is 26 years old. By 26 years old, Lamar Jackson had won 2 MVPs. Patrick Mahomes won 2 Super Bowls. And these quarterbacks have thrown a touchdown pass in the NFL. Junior, list off these quarterbacks.
Anthony Richardson, Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud, Jaden Daniels, Bryce Youngs, Bo Nix, Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Will Levis, Justin Herbert, and Tua.
Yeah. So all those people are 26 years old or younger. I mean, with Tua, dude, I mean, Tua's he's never going to play football again. So like he had a full NFL career by the time that, Cam Rising is going to have a chance to play in the league. But here's the thing. And his stock has gone down like that year that he played at the Rose Bowl. It was ultimate, and he should have
left.
popped out, but he didn't. He came back for the glory. He wanted to be head Ute. They build a statue of Cam Rising if next year he wins a national title, let's say.
Yes. They have to win the national championship. That's the only way.
Yeah.
That's the only way that he gets a statue made of him. But I mean, like, it kind of makes sense for him because you're not going to the league at this point. You can make a few extra 100K on NIL, kind of save it in the bank, and then just kind of prepare for life as head Ute.
Yeah, he'll get whatever he wants in Utah for the rest of his life. Head Ute, man. Head Ute. We got to ask Dad, who is the head Ute now? Like, who will he be like removing as head Ute? Dad will know. Dad will know. Junior, there was one last thing that I wanted to bring up from this week, and it was kind of weird. I saw it on the Bleacher Report College Football News. And Mike Gundy, the coach of Oklahoma State, who you got to see across from the sideline. By the way, is his hair as good in person as it is?
Yeah, that dude has like an aura around him. He has some type of aura that is just like, it's kind of unmatched, bro. It's unmatched. It's pretty badass.
He's got those glasses, just like the baggy, like little cargo pant type things, and just he is one of the cooler coaches in college football. So this past week he did his press conference for Oklahoma State over the phone as opposed to on Zoom because he lives on a big ranch in Oklahoma, and one of his cattle headbutted him. And so he had like a busted eye. So I have yet to see a photo of him, but I can't imagine like how he's going to coach on the side. This man with such aura is going to have a black eye. Like,
dude,
he goes to the booth.
I was about to say, maybe they throw him up in the booth or, they're going to cover it up somehow. Maybe some makeup around it. That guy has so much aura that he can't go out there and look busted up. That's just not who he is.
They might forfeit. They might forfeit this week if coach can't come out. Like, it's just, we got to save the superstar.
Well, I had a little run-in with my cattle over the weekend, and I guess they've been watching us play and got headbutted. So I've got a bad eye that I didn't think would be particularly enjoyable for people when they were looking at my pretty face in a live interview. But more importantly, it's full of blood and I get dizzy, and so it's not easy to be upright and be in a normal function. But other than that, I'm doing great.
It was just like a random accident. Like it's got to be crazy to own cattle, right? Like,
yeah,
it's a 1,000-pound animal, dude. Like, how close and cuddly do you want to get with that thing?
Or do you think this is a cover-up? Did something happen?
I was thinking that. You beat me to it, you son of a bitch.
Because, like, I mean, that's just like one of those stories that, like, you're like a little kid and you're like freaking out and you just kind of, the cow head butted me. And you like freak out and you just say some random ass shit. It's like, what? Like, what are you doing with the cow? Are you like snuggling up with them? Like that just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make any sense.
Wow. Okay, I'll just go super crazy thought mode. Like, there was a fight in the coach's meeting room, and
because dude, they're not doing it. They're not doing as good. I mean, what is their record right now?
3-3 was the last time I saw it.
That's
could be 3-4 or 4-3. I don't know. One
I
of
mean,
those two.
they beat the freaking Hogs, which pisses me off, dude. We should have won that game.
I swear to God.
Oh, it's so annoying. But like they're not having the year. Ollie Gordon's not playing as good as people expected him to be playing. And so, maybe it was Ollie. Maybe Ollie's pissed off that like I don't know. I'm just saying shit now.
Oh, Mike, give me the ball. All right. Before we say anything else that will possibly get us in trouble, Junior, we had a fan question. We had talked about it on the episode, and
Yep.
for the past couple of weeks, episodes have hit 1,000 views on YouTube. And I've been tracking everything, and I've been responding to all the comments. We love it. We appreciate it. I've produced podcasts for the last 5 years of my life. This is organic, honest growth. So thank you for really like sticking along with the process because it's something special. And
Yeah.
Junior, I was telling you that we should do a fan question type episode, but we
Yep.
only got one fan question. And I think we'll kind of just incorporate this in each one. So fans, if you have a question, please write it down in the comments or send us a DM, and then we will get to it on the episode. This question comes from Dennis Mitchell, 4132. Chirping is a fixture in the game, but at Oklahoma State and Texas A&M, both teams seem to derail us once they noticeably started talking crap. Is that perception by me a real thing and something you just have to learn to rise above with experience? That there's a second part to the question, but that's where I'll leave it. Is it just a perception thing, and something you have to learn to rise above?
Yeah, and man, I think that's kind of the growth of being a player is learning how to not let the chirping get to your head. And I don't think in either of those games that the chirping got to us internally. I think a lot of it just kind of happened with just frustration within our own units, and especially for that Texas A&M game, there was like an altercation that happened on the sideline where we were upset as an O line because we weren't getting the blitzes picked up and the wide receivers weren't having enough time. And so I don't think it was really necessarily the other team kind of chirping at us. I think it was more internal. And but yeah, that's just something as a player where you have to learn how to take in the chirping and then use that as energy to go whoop more ass.
I really do. I think you answered the second part of that question there too. And I guess I'll finish the question off so you can chime in. What he was saying with that, in the same vein, do we have some guys who were susceptible to the other team getting in their heads? The more the other team talks, the more mistakes were seemingly made versus the Pokes and the Aggies.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think, that's when stuff is going good for you, teams are going to chirp more. And it just kind of so looks that way that, that things are going good for them. They're talking and it's like, oh, it's getting to our head. It's just, no, their game plan's working better than our game plan. And so they have confidence. So they're talking their shit. And I don't think it really got to our head. I think it was just kind of their game plan was working better than us and we weren't executing. Appreciate the question, Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis commented a couple of times on that episode. He's glad. All these Hog fans that are finding us for the first time. Every week we do this. We recap the game, we preview the next game, and we talk a little bit about what's going on in college football because we can do that. Do you see Shadur doing that? I don't know.
Actually, I think he does have a show. He does.
I
Have
know
a
he
show.
has a show. I know he has a show, but I don't know if he. I just see the interviews. I just see
Yeah.
them talking about the game. Is he talking about ChatGPT being used for apology letters? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think so. He's not. I mean, now let's talk about somebody who's using ChatGPT or having somebody do his homework.
Wait, Junior, stop.
Okay.
Shadur is a scholar first and an athlete second, and actually,
Okay.
God first.
Okay, my bad. My bad.
Jeez,
bad
bro,
on
get
that.
off. Dude, I'm trying to get hired by well-off media here, all right? God, you're ruining my chances. All right. Well, Junior, that is everything from me this week. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you follow me at Mr. George Carmona. In my bio, as all the other shows I work on. If you are a fan of the NFL, I do a show called Veterans Minimum on Mondays and Wednesdays at the Wynn here in Las Vegas, a nice little big fancy studio. A few weeks back, or just this last Monday, we talked to Maurice Clarett of Ohio State, legend of college football. It was an amazing conversation, and you guys should definitely go check that episode out. Junior, where can they find you?
Find me at Carmona JR with 2 R's at the end. Want to give a big shout out to Danico Slaughter. Had a hell of a game against Tennessee, who he formerly played for. And this is his hat. He has, I think, a clothing brand too. So some shirts and stuff called the Slaughter brand. You could obviously find it on his Instagram and stuff. Just awesome dude, awesome teammate, and want to just show some love. And thank you to all the Hog fans and everybody that tunes in weekly and puts in the comments. We truly do appreciate it, and the train's going to continue to roll.
Yeah, we will see you all in Fayetteville this upcoming Saturday. Go Hogs.
Go Hogs.
We knew he was behind this pool sticks. We can hear he's actually like crying.
Okay.
And I can see his tail.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the broomstick and a mop just so if he comes out, we can hit him. But then Gail sees him and then goes, just give me a box and give me the long barbecue tongs. I said, oh my God. Yeah, so I was sitting there with the mop in case he came out. She put the box there, reached behind the pool sticks, picked up the trap. He was alive, but stuck to the trap. And we stuck him in a box, taped him up, and threw him away.
Where did you throw him away at?
In the garbage.
So he's right now currently escaping from the garbage.
Oh no, he's in a box inside the can with the lid closed, and the garbage comes today.
Okay. That's how super rats are created. They just go to the dump.
They go to the dump and let him create whatever the fuck he wants.
Wow.
But it was crazy. When you see a mousetrap missing, you say, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, what could this fucking trap be? So.
No, it's good that it's out of the house. Do you think there's multiple?
We still got the traps out, There's one, there's usually a couple. But we had the rat guy come out. It was crazy. It was the rat guy. He goes, man, I know you. I said, yeah, I know you too. And we started talking. He used to wear the white hat when I used to coach football. And now he does all the Big 12 games, which is funny because I saw him on a Thursday here. The next Saturday, I see him doing the Utah game on national TV. But he worked for a rat company. And they came out. They inspected the house. I told him the situation. And he goes, I could charge you $400 and set up all kinds of things now. But I think you have an isolated incident. You have a mouse in the house. And he looked the whole backyard. Didn't charge me anything for coming out, which was cool. So just buy some stickies and you'll get them. And
so
we got them.
You just got a mouse in the house. A mouse in the house?
Here we go!